Hey, okay. I see this is moving. This is just I thought I'd like to do an update. It's not really for anybody. I don't really do these for anybody in particular to watch. It's mostly for me to have a record. And YouTube seems as good as any a place to store a video on. So this thing is all messed up. I don't even use this mic, I'm using this one, but I need to get just a dedicated headset only without the thing on there. But I digress. Today, the 6th of May, 2023. A lot to catch up on, actually. A lot to post here. The most recent thing, which is kind of good news and then also kind of sad news all at the same time, is I saw on the news where they were mentioning that there's a very promising Alzheimer's treatment that they've been working on. It's going into like the final phase now, but it's showing remarkable results in stopping Alzheimer's in its tracks. That's great news. That's very promising, very good. But it's also kind of sad news for me personally because of my older sister who has had Alzheimer's now for over 10 years, and she's just deteriorated to the point where I don't think there's any recovery. But I could be wrong, but I mean, she's pretty much just like a vegetable, Gosh, if that could have had that treatment 10, 15 years ago, and then we could have stopped that in its tracks. And I'd still have my sister to talk to this day. That would be great. But it doesn't, I don't think that this new treatment they got can reverse damage that has been done, only stop a progression of anything getting worse. So there's that I wanted to mention. Took my dog to the park this morning. We go to this big park down in Long Beach, and we go running. He's got this long. I have him on this long leash, like a 16-foot leash that I just let him go, and he runs out ahead of me. And I don't tell him where to go. He just goes where he wants, and I follow behind. And he usually starts running, and so I'm there running behind him. And we were there when it first opened up, 7 a.m. And we're going, and I see we're on this sidewalk kind of going towards this little bridge that's going to take us to this next section. And off to the side, our left, is two men with what looked like pit bulls. Just some kind of large, muscular, very pit bull looking dogs. And one of the dogs is sitting on top of a picnic table. And it's one of those picnic tables that has the built-in benches that's made out of like aluminum or something. It's a big picnic table bench combination thing. And so this dog is sitting on top of that, and it's tied up to the picnic table. And of course my dog, he wants to run over there and see this dog, and then the man sees us coming. He says, "Oh, I'm going to have to ask you to not come any closer, please." And his dog starts barking. I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm holding my dog. Well, that dog of his jumps off the table that it's tied to and starts running towards us, growling. I mean, it wants to attack. And it is dragging the entire bench and table with it. And so the guy got a hold of his dog, and I just kind of gave him a wave and kept going. Then I started thinking as I'm walking away with my dog, like, what good is it to have a dog like that, where you have to worry that it's going to kill somebody or hurt somebody or eat somebody else's pet? I don't want anything like that. And if you've got it for personal safety, if you feel like you need something like that, that's a deadly weapon that is somewhat unpredictable and always ready to go off unless you're there to restrain it, why don't you just get yourself a damn gun or a knife? You know, that way, you know, the gun's not going to go off just sitting in your pocket or sitting at your, you know, side at the house. That dog's ready to go off any second in a situation where there was no threat. You know, my wiener dog, my little dachshund, he's no threat. And I was no threat. We were just enjoying the park. So I didn't like that. I didn't appreciate what happened there. That's just my comment on that. The other thing I wanted to make an update for regarding myself is I had my annual physical, which included a blood test. And my numbers were once again not good for the prostate. My dad, when he was 75, he had prostate cancer. And so my numbers were in there's two different things they look at. There's the total PSA. It's called PSA. It stands for something like prostate something antigen, whatever. It's something that your body has in it. And if there's too much or too little of one or the other, then you are in a danger zone. Well, my total prostate number, the one number they look at, was good. It was like 1.8. And they say if it's 4.0 or above, then they get worried and they want to do a biopsy. Mine was 1.8. But then there's this other number called the free prostate PSA or free PSA. If that gets below 25, then they get concerned. Well, mine was, last year it was 13. And the guy says, well, we got to keep an eye on this. And then this time, a year later, it's gone down even further to 11. So, and that oftentimes from what I've read online can warrant a biopsy being done to see if you got cancer, because the lower that number is, the higher your chance of cancer is. But not all the time. I mean, there's other factors involved, like if you have a enlarged prostate, which a lot of older men start to have. And I just started to have that myself for the last couple of years. My prostate's getting larger. So I'm drinking green tea. Like that's going to help. But so that's kind of my update. Everything else was pretty good on there. My triglycerides went back up, but that was my own fault. I started eating a lot of yogurt to help with digestion and stuff, and I felt really good eating yogurt, but I've been eating too much of it, and it's caused me to get high triglycerides, so I got to kind of tone that down a bit. But that's my update. This probably won't mean much of anything to a lot of people, especially younger guys that might happen to see this. They'll be like, oh, well, you know, better you than me, old man. You got these problems. But yeah, that's true. I didn't have any problem like this when I was 20 or 30 or 40. But, you know, you get older, stuff starts to happen, man. And so it's happening. So you got to keep going in for your checkups, keep doing your tests so they can monitor and see how you're going. All right, so that's all I had to say. Yeah, I'm a little tired from my run this morning, but good. All right, I'm gonna play some video games now. I just got to figure out what it is I'm gonna play. Right on. And Swarthos out.